Hi, hey, thanks for checking out my project here, 24/7 KPIs. Um, I want to quickly go over the wireframes for this project. We have 43 web pages that need to be developed, and I use Balsamic Cloud to create these wireframes for all of the pages. So it shows exactly the way I want these pages designed and developed. When so I'll give you this link. This is a public link, so you can go in and check out all the pages and the design. Couple things to note here is this show navigator icon brings up all the different pages. So there's a few more than 43 here, but I'm not counting pages that maybe just throw up a status message. So there's some of these are very simple pages like the login screen. But there's 43 here, and you can clear this, hide that column by just clicking this right here. And you may have this pop up on the right, this inspector page. So to get rid of this, so you can see everything all, utilize the full screen, you want both the left and right columns hidden so you can see this. Okay, this is a wireframing solution, Balsamic Cloud. So these screens have been designed as a quick way to design web pages, and these here that are highlighted in the light green are clickable. If I hover over it, you can see that Alt-click will take me to My dashboard. So once a user successfully logs in here, then they should go to their My Dashboard screen. You can see that this screen is loaded with a lot of information. So we're using all the real estate of the screen to show all these columns. I've designed it this way. So this is the way I want it. You'll notice that there's a top menu up here, the kind of My Dashboard, which is what we default to. There's a My Progress screen, Team versus Team, IT Operations, Account Management, Admin, and Logout. Now, we're a managed services provider, an MSP. We provide outsourced IT support to our clients. So we have engineers working on IT support tickets and projects, and this is going to be our business intelligence program here, our KPIs. So I'll kind of go over this so you can get an idea of all these different screens and how I'd like it to work. So this goes hand in hand. So this is the UI, these business rules. All the code has already been developed. I created a bunch of SQL stored procedures. So all you have to do is just the front end. You're just calling the SQL stored procedures to get all the values that show up on the screen. So for example, let me bring up this PDF. You're going to get a copy of this PDF. And for example, we're on this My Dashboard screen. You can see that for the drop-down list for period 1 and 2, it tells you the name of the SQL stored procedure to call to fill in the drop-down. This first data grid here is the engineer stats. And you can see here, data grid, engineer stats. Here's the stored procedure. Here's the input variables to call. Now, some of these screens can be accessed by other screens. So if maybe they were in the team or team versus team, and they clicked on a specific engineer like Zachary Harrison here. So if this page was accessed from the team versus team, then we're not going to display the periods, period 1 or period 2. Here's how we're going to call the data grid and the variables that were passed from the calling page. Once the grid is displayed, you can see that some of these columns are clickable. They have an underline. So some of these columns are blue or red. They have an underline meaning that this is a clickable column. So the data grid, clickable columns. specifies. So for the engineer, if they click the engineer cell, then you go to this URL and you pass these variables. So again, if they clicked on the engineer, Zachary Harrison, let me hit Alt click. Oh, we're already on the my dashboard. So that's kind of a bad example. Let's say they click on work hours, 8.0 hours, Alt click, takes to the engineers _ work hours. You can see here that it takes them to this URL, and here's the input variables. Okay, so that's the way all those clickable columns work. We've got 43 of these pages. Let's see, what else can I share? At the bottom of every single one of these web pages, let's see, before I get to that, you'll see these yellow rectangle boxes with the red little marks here. This is supposed to represent a yellow sticky note with some red tape. Do not program this. This is just notes for you, the developer, on a few things for the, so the grid table font size is a 12-point font, but you'll notice that some of these columns have smaller font. So, here following columns have a font size of 9, and it specifies which columns. So some of these are 12. That's going to be the default. And then if you see some that are smaller, that's going to be a font size of 9. Those are less important columns, and we're making them smaller so we can fit this all into the width of the monitor. I specified the resolution in the job ad. I think it's, yeah, well, look in the Upwork job posting that lists the resolution of the monitor that I'm using here that I want this to be able to work with. So again, at the bottom of every single one of these pages, you'll see this portion down here. Okay, this lists the exact SQL stored procedures that were called and the input variables that were used. So when you use the SQL stored procedure get engineer KPIs to fill in this top data grid right here with all the engineer stats, you're going to list the name of the SQL stored procedure down here and the input variables that you passed to the SQL stored procedure. This will be used for future debugging. If we are wondering why some of these values are incorrect, we will be able to see what was passed, and then we'll be able to debug these stored procedures. So you can see in this page, there was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 stored procedures that were called. Here's all the input variables that were used to fill in these data grids. Up here in the engineer stats, there's 5 columns that will always be red. Time entries with issues, service tickets completed, project tickets completed. In this case, this engineer didn't complete any project tickets, so it's not showing, but if he did, this would be in red. Tickets without communication, and the CSAT reviews. And again, each one of these are clickable. Here's our KPI notes, so they can also click on this, and it specifies, tells the engineer how each of these columns were calculated. What else? What else should we go over? I'm going to be hiring 3 developers for this project. All 3 of you will be working independently. You will finish the program from start to finish. Again, you'll just be doing the screen, the user interface. All of the logic is in the stored procedures, and you'll be calling those. The reason I'm hiring 3 is we're looking for whoever we select out of the three to kind of finish and work on future projects. So we're really looking for a long-term relationship with the developer. Out of these 43 web pages, 41 of them are going to be using the AG Grid Community Edition. I've listed that in the job description, on the Upwork job description. 2 of these pages use bar graphs, and that requires the AG Grid Enterprise Edition. So out of the 3 developers, whoever, if you're the selected developer that we want to continue working with in the future, we're going to buy the Enterprise Edition of AG Grid and have you finish the last 2 screens. I'll show you those now. Let's see, that's under IT Operations. And there's a couple tabs here, Trends and Tickets by Type. These 2 tabs have some bar graphs, clickable bar graphs. So you can see incoming and completed tickets for different date ranges. Again, the stored procedures are already done for this. So you're just going to pass the contents of the stored procedure to the AG Grid, the enterprise version, to display these graphs and make them clickable. Here's time to respond and the resolution time, and then tickets by type, just 4 bar graphs looking at the different ticket types. And again, these will be clickable. So if you wanted to see the different printer scanner issues or tickets that were created for this date range, that's up here in the top right. And then depending on whether all clients or a specific client is selected here in this drop-down list, again, there's a stored procedure for that. It's listed in the specifications document, so super easy. Just call it stored procedure, fill in the clients. If they click on the printer scanner, it's just going to immediately just go to this completed service tickets, excuse me, page. For these data grid columns, this is specified in the document. So let's see, this is service tickets completed. So if I search for service tickets completed, and I down here ways, that link is used quite a bit. Here it is, here's the page. You can see that the data grid heading is in bold text, shows the number of completed service tickets in red with the start to end date. Okay, so in this case, there's no engineer, so that should not be showing up in the, that engineer should not be showing there. I can correct that, but it would be showing the number of tickets for that date range. The My Progress screen, this screen will have 5 rows. You can see down below here, the SQL stored procedures called 5 times, and it'll be for 5 different date ranges. And that would be specified in the let's see, here we go. So here's the page for My Progress, and it shows data grid row 1, call the stored procedure with these input variables, row 2, row 3, row 4, row 5. Okay, so very easy. Shows the screen layout and then shows what stored procedures to call for that page. Same with team versus team, IT operations. IT operations has these different tabs here. So again, each one of those is specified in the specifications. Same with account management. The admin screens are just simple pages. Again, they're stored procedures to assign and unassign account managers to specific companies. And then you can see if you assign, then it would say that just little status messages that they're assigned or unassigned. Miscellaneous value screen, there's only one value right now, but if we have in the future additional ones, we'll add them here. Smile back adjustments. Again, if you want to create a new adjustment, click here or delete an adjustment here. Oh, each one of these is referenced in the program specifications, each page. Very easy. Just here's the URL, and here's all the SQL store procedures to call to display and either create records or delete records. Teams, same thing. This is how you add, create new teams and add users to them, or remove users from the team. And then users, same thing. And then we can, there's a SQL store procedure for this stuff. So import users from ConnectWise Manage. Again, we're a MSP, an IT service provider. We use ConnectWise Manage. That's where all our engineers are in, all our clients, all our tickets. In this case, we can import new users, meaning engineers, from ConnectWise Manage into the 24/7 KPI program. So we can enable KPIs for specific engineers, and that we can put in their work schedule, that sort of thing. And a logout screen. I think that's about it for now. Yeah, if you have any questions, please reach out and contact me. Thanks for checking out my project here. I really look forward to working with you. And again, we're hiring 3 engineers, all paid the full price to develop this project. And our hope is to select one of those 3 engineers, hopefully it's you, that we can continue to work with in the future and continue adding new phases to this program and more. So thank you so much, and I look forward to speaking with you. All right, hey, bye.